The best movies are the ones that make you think and reflect. Whether they have an ambiguous ending, or whether they're a little more experimental, or whether they're really clear cut. They do make you sort of reflect and think big. And I think that those are the types of movies that inspire me to get into it, whether it's the epic scale of Lord of the Rings or the fantasy, world of Star Wars, or something much more contained. I got a flip video camera, which in sixth grade, which was, thinking back on it, was worse than what you can do on an iPhone these days. And I started just messing around, filming with my friends or filming my cats and experimenting with editing software. And I really made my first sort of meaningful film, a documentary, when I was in eighth grade. It was a documentary of the eighth grade class trip to Washington, D.C. And instead of writing several essays about the various landmarks or things we saw, it was trying to document it in a different medium. It harkened back to a lot of historical footage and really tried to capture all the different things we saw. There are probably two films that stand out. One is a documentary on the football team, following the team in practice, film, the weight room, and then actually on the sideline at the game, in the locker room, on the field. It was really educational in learning about how to structure documentaries, how you piece that together in post, not really knowing what the outcome is going to be.
Well, obviously, the game didn't go as we had hoped. It was unfortunate we couldn't get the win for our seniors, but next year will be an entirely different story.
The second film was very different. It was a narrative piece, science fiction oriented, with kind of an unusual premise. Basically, a man gets this large, 4 foot by 3 foot box that when he puts $1 in and closes, it goes inside and closes the lid. When he opens it, he'll be somewhere beautiful, somewhere around the world. And we shot it over 2 years in Indonesia and Turkey, San Francisco, Boston, among others. And what ends up happening is when he runs out of money and he closes the lid and opens it, he ends up in these terrible locations. And it's kind of a commentary on, wealth and resources. But it was a no dialogue piece. And so from a different style, narrative instead of documentary, taught me a lot about how you can say a lot without saying anything. I think that after freshman year at NYU, I really realized that this was something I wanted to do, but it wasn't until I got to USC that I figured out exactly what roles I was primarily interested in, which was directing and producing. And it wasn't, again, until probably my junior year that it became more than just a sort of, this is what I'd like to do, and I can see myself doing it, to really actually interning in the industry, seeing what it's like, and having the confidence to believe that this is absolutely what I should be doing. My junior thesis film follows an elderly man whose wife just left him, adopting this lovable golden retriever, and the unlikely friendship that they form. I don't recommend working with animals. That's very, very challenging. But that was one of the more memorable experiences, films I've made. I'm currently in post-production on a senior thesis film, which was probably the biggest operation I've been a part of. There were around 30 crew members. On one day on set, we had around 55 people. And that's a 12-minute movie about the first ever auction of a human heart, and how this young girl whose brother is terminally ill has to try to win the heart to save his life. Currently interning at Imagine Entertainment. I was there 2 summers ago as a development intern for the Senior Vice President of Motion Pictures. And I'm currently the sort of research intern to Ron Howard. Shadowing him and learning as much as I can from, an expert is, in the short term, I think, not only fun and exciting and informative, but also can help my sort of medium-term objective to start directing and producing my own movies, developing my own projects, and ultimately, in the long term, being a lot like, the Ron Howards and J.J. Abrams of the world, guys that can, pursue almost any story they want and have a team of really trusted people that can help develop that and bring it to the screen.